Good evening, racing fans out there. Thursday evening, that means it's time for the L2S community. We love to smoke rear tires. L2S goes on season 2, race number 5, race 5 of 11. So we are heading into the midway mark of the season. And things get more and more important, points get more and more crucial as we march on through our 11 race calendar of this season, what brings us to Montreal, Canada here tonight. I'm Seb Bauer, glad you're with us for this race. Short look at the track, this is it, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, named by the Canadian race legend. It is situated in Montreal on the Ile de Notre Dame, right in the middle of the St. Lawrence River. Was part of the 1976 Summer Olympics. You can see on the picture here, so the long back straight or main straight is right alongside the former rowing and canoeing basin. The track is rather short, just 4.3 kilometers of length, features 40 turns. The lap record is set by Valtteri Bottas out of 2019. The difficulty is set to easy. The track itself may be easy, but there are a few turns where the car gets very light and the walls are close. Not only the Wall of Champions, but on some other parts of the track there's just a very thin, very slim strap of grass, and then there is some concrete right next to it. So no errors. Errors will make you lose this race eventually. How do we race? We see a 18 minutes qualifying followed by a 50% race distance, what I think is 36 laps or something. Safety car, VSC, rules, flags, all that is on. We see full damage, dynamic weather, and strict corner cutting. Corner cutting is not the biggest issue here tonight. There might be one or two turns where you can exceed the track limits a little bit, just a bit, because after the little bit there's the next wall. Manual race starts, of course. This is the assists you can go with. Gearbox is manual. Manual race start, maximum medium traction control. All other assists like pit and ERS/DRS is set off, of course. Let's have a short look at our lobby. We are missing a few guys, so we have now 17 drivers checked in. 17 is still a rather good number, but for some reason Tier 2, that has just happened 1.5 hours ago, Tier 2 was completely full, 20-man grid, so it's a bit sad that Tier 2 is full while Tier 1 lacks 3 drivers as it looks right now. Yes, session timer is ticking down. Maybe we will have 1 or 2 drivers who might be a little late and be able to join during the session. We see Savkov. This is a new driver. He was just promoted into Tier 1. Welcome on your first racing evening. And then I'm searching for him. There he is. ChrisTam. This name is very important because Mr. Tam is our leader in our classification at the moment, but all that I will get you a little bit closer in the next 20 minutes. I tried something new in this week, by the way. So if you scroll under the video, I have attached the overall standings, how the drivers stack up before this race. So we see ChrisTam in the lead with 68 points after 4 races. Then followed by MarcAinley, minus 12 points. Official, minus 23. Nick Agnola, minus 31. And the Golden Pickle on 5th position with minus 35 points. And our vice champion from last year, the Slayer, is positioned in P8 with minus 38 points. So here we are already in the pit lane. Weather looks quite good. Fair weather. Not a single cloud on the sky. Let's see who will be the first one to move out on the track. I already hear some engine being fired. We do not have classic teams, so don't search for your favorite team. Everyone has unique car liveries. A bunch of drivers now going out on the track. Let's have a look who's the first one. The Golden Pickle is ruled as the first one on an out lap. I always stay with the first one to go out for the first out lap, the first hot lap. Golden Pickle here warming up his tires. We are here already in Sector 2. This is the hairpin, one of the hardest braking zones in the whole year. Can't believe it. Looks so sweet, but it is one of the hardest braking points in the whole year. And this is one of the longest straights in the whole Canada, just split by one chicane. The very infamous Wall of Champions. Right here, Wall of Champions, right hand side, and then here we go with Golden Pickle. We ride on board. Oh no, we don't. He is out of the session right now. Okay. I have no idea what happened. He is ruled in his pits. Okay. So we just take the next one. This is Mr. Casto France. We will ride on his shoulder then for his first hard lap to get in the track, get a bit of a feel for what we are doing here, how and where we are doing it. So this is the infamous Wall of Champions, and the back straight and the start finish straight is more or less one gigantically long DRS zone, just split with this final chicanes. These are the medium pace turns of Sector 1. You can see the walls are closed. Everywhere is concrete. This is the end of Sector 1. Rather short. You can actually not win a lot of time here. You can just lose a lap, throw a lap away. Then another chicane right left combination here. You're coming towards the end of Sector 2. There it is. And the hairpin, very important to get a clean acceleration out of here in the race, then especially because right here the DRS zone starts and we have over a kilometer of full throttle flat out DRS zone. There it is again, the Wall of Champions, another DRS zone here, and this is already it. So a very short lap. And Casto France's time is not that good. 8.5 tenths behind ChrisTam. And he is in 5th position, and I think that he will not stay there for the end, or until the end of the qualifying. Yeah, we have seen Tier 2 already, our second league, if you want to say so. And while we see ChrisTam here, the pole set for the moment. One very interesting storyline, because ChrisTam was promoted into Tier 1, coming from Tier 2, and ChrisTam, the reigning Tier 2 champion, was the pole position champion in Tier 2, and he just moves on doing just that in Tier 1 now. So he won the majority of pole positions in the last 4 races, and we have someone who does just the same in Tier 2, Mr. Reyazudin. He has snatched the 5th consecutive pole today in Tier 2. So 5 races and 5 times Reyazudin started from the prime position. In the end, he couldn't win. Zimwi in the end won. Reyazudin was forced to one additional pit stop due to some front wing damage, and that made his rival slip through. Still, Reyazudin has a rather big cushion, still 23 points ahead over Zimwi. And Reyazudin, just that you have a bit of a feeling for it, Reyazudin posted a pole time of 1 minute 7 seconds 0.9. So right now ChrisTam is still 7/10 slower than the pole setter of Tier 2, and on such a short track 7/10 is really a lot. Really a lot. So let's have a look on someone who is on the track and driving. This might be Bellox here. He is still in 15th, but will jump ahead, of course, as soon as he has set a time. Number 66 in his, what is it? Green and yellow livery. Coming towards the end of Sector 2 here, and then Sector 3 is more or less just full throttle as soon as he's out of the hairpin. Pedal to the metal for number 66. And here the last chicane, driven through quite cleanly, I would say, and in the end this is 8th time for Bellox. Next one on a hot lap is... I just wanted to jump to Golden Pickle, but he jumped over me, and he is now in P2. Golden Pickle now in second, 1/10 only behind ChrisTam, the one who we wanted to ride on earlier but couldn't due to some internet connection issues. While we see here Mr. Laurentier, who is the only one who is trying to qualify on mediums. Let's have a short look how that will go for him. That is already a little bit of a indicator for the tire strategy then in the race. But in Canada it's not that important to go through on a one-stop, so the Canada pit lane is rather short, plus you cut more or less two corners, so it is not the biggest problem to start on softs, different like on a few other tracks, but still he is trying his first hot lap on a medium and will be not that bad. Have a look, Laurentier into P8, beating the times of Castor France, MarcAinley, Bellox, Ace versus Kings, Marshall Hit and Sapkov. So yeah, that's actually not a bad time. Still, I doubt that he will accept this. I suppose that he will come back to the pits and run again on a set of softs in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, we see new times coming in. Chappie, our admin, into P3. That's good. That was to the Slayer, now in 4th. Slayer still half a second behind ChrisTam, while Chappie and Golden Pickle is the only one who can stay within a tenth of ChrisTam. No times yet from Nick Agnola and Royal Harvey. Nick Agnola, who is in 4th in our overall standings, would be important for him to stay in the championship battle. Laurentio did not come into the pits. He tried another lap on his mediums. Meanwhile, what's going on with MarcAinley? MarcAinley already on his in lap, so he has stopped pushing for a time here on this lap. Yeah, another closer view on our classification. We see ChrisTam leading with 68 points. Behind him in second with -12 is this guy, MarcAinley. 12 points is not that much, but he needs to start making up in this gap. He needs to try and close the gap, because this season has only 11 rounds, 11 races, and he cannot allow ChrisTam to move away any further at the midway mark of this season. And the same goes, of course, for all the other guys that I will call out now. That is Official, our reigning champion. Official is 23 points behind ChrisTam and is ranked in P9 here at the moment. Let's have a look what he's doing as we speak about him in his tank car. He is running on mediums here right now. And in 4th position then Nick Agnola. He missed one race, and that is very costly. If there is only 11 rounds, you just cannot miss one. Therefore he is now 31 points behind ChrisTam. So for him and Golden Pickle with -35 points, it's maybe already very close. They need to hope for some DNFs or bigger problems for ChrisTam in the next 1 or 2 races. And Official has invalidated the lap time just in the first turn. Oh, well, we see a no pole setter. Golden Pickle in the pole. Golden Pickle, just when I called on him, has pushed the limits a little bit further and is now 1.5 tenths ahead of ChrisTam. Yeah, and one more name I want to call, that is Slayer. He's in P8, our reigning vice champion. He's now 38 points behind ChrisTam. Everything's still possible, but all these guys need to close the gap if they want to back up their championship hopes and chances. So we are under 5 minutes, so a last moment to take a breather until we start some hectic last few minutes here in the quali. And we see Official, who did not return to the pits. He will have another shot on his mediums. That means he has enough of gasoline with him to run for 2 hot laps, but now he might be a little bit impeded here ahead. This is Safkov on a hot lap either, so there's no need to let Official through. So yeah, with a bit of luck, Official might get towed on the long straight. With a bit of bad luck, Safkov might be in the way for him. Let's see which of the 2 possibilities will it be in the end. Right now it might be a bit of advantage of A slight slipstream here for official. We stay with those two boys and see what's gonna happen in the end. Very tidily going through the last chicane. And official. Did not improve. No improvement for our reigning champion. So now he has to hurry back because we are only at 3 minutes here. So, yes, he knows it. He knows it. He is corner cutting heavily as much as he can just to get home as quickly as possible. Because P9, and maybe even worse than that, would be a bummer for him, would be yeah, a big disadvantage in the race. Have a look how he's flying over the track, just getting home quickly enough. So we see Chap, he is already on a hot lap. Let's stay with him here maybe for a moment. Oh, no hot lap was invalid. Is that correct? That his laps are already 4 laps old? I can hardly believe it. That would mean he'd have a monstrous disadvantage then on the start. Not on the start itself, but in his first stint then, because his tires would already have half the age of the other boy's first stint. Now I cannot believe it. I doubt that this statistics is correct. So we are here now in the late stages of this qualifying. Let's have a look. What are our bull chasers doing? ChrisTam at the end of sector 1, he has improved by 1.5 tenths, and this is right the time he needs to find to reconquer the pole position from Golden Pickle. End of sector 2, 2.3 tenths of improvement. And now there is someone ahead. Is this Golden Pickle ahead? Can't figure it out actually, but ChrisTam, it's a bit too far away for a slipstream. Let's just see what he will do in the end. ChrisTam, can he back the pole position? Can he get it back? He does, but he lost a bit of time in the end. Improved himself by only... Oh no, he's not in front. I'm sorry. I am sorry. He improved not enough. Golden Pickle is in the lead. I don't know if he knows it already. He is not improving himself. What is Infamous maybe doing? He has lifted Casto France. Does not seem like he's on a fast lap. Infamous is out. Slayer maybe. Slayer in P7. Oh, he's gonna being impeded. Slayer is out. Slayer is out too. And Royal Harvey. Royal Harvey, where did that come from? Where in all hell did that come from? We see Slayer wiggling in his anger. And Royal Harvey is the very late pole grabber. Beating Pickle by 82 thousandths. ChrisTam, is he still on a hot lap? No, he is not. He is not. What does MarcAinley do? Nothing. Casto France not either. Dean Cunha finishes 9th. So, Aces versus Kings. He is maybe the last one. No, he is not. No, we are finished. This is the official end of our qualifying with a late lunge ahead from Mr. Royal Harvey, beating Golden Pickle just barely, and even more important, he beat our pole king. ChrisTam will only start out of the second starting row. Interesting. interesting. I cannot remember when this happened the last time, that ChrisTam really had someone in front of him for the start. Yeah, and other thing I already mentioned, and just a little friendly reminder at this point, as we are still waiting for the CPU to finish this quali session. Reazurin posted a pole time of 107.9 in Tier 2, and once again the Tier 2 pole setter was faster than our Tier 1 pole setter, this time by 4.5 tenths. So this is it, the official end of our qualifying and Royal Harvey on the Royal spot on the starting grid in first position. Then Golden Pickle, third ChrisTam, 4 for Chappie, 5 Nick Agnola, 6 MarcAinley, 7 Infamous, 8 Castor France, 9 the Slayer being impeded in the variant, P10 for Dean Cunha, P11 John Bunter, 12th goes for Aces versus Kings, 13 only, big disappointment for Official, 14 Laurentio, 15 Balox, 16 is Savkov in his first race in Tier 1, and P17 and last position goes to Morshatit. So the weather stays rather fine and fair, I would say, and our drivers have approximately half a minute of time to get some minor setup changes done, to get the strategy being set up, and I will be back with you in a moment. So here we are on our installation lab. We see the tire strategy presented by AWS. Very interesting thing, because Amazon / Mario Isola from Pirelli has suggested a 3-stop strategy, and yeah, I need to think back quite some years when I remember a successful 3-stop strategy in the race without some safety car incidents, of course, but yeah, I doubt that our race winner, whoever it will be, will have 3 stops in the end, but let's just find out together in the next hour. Let's have a first look about the tires that are used. The top 10 have to start on the tire they have qualified on, so there are softs only from P11 and beyond. Everyone can use the free tire they want, and it's a bit mixed, but yellow dominates, so most of the drivers will start on mediums. Only Savkov in 16th opted for fresh softs, and John Bunter in his pink car will start on hards. Okay, that's interesting. He will have a big disadvantage on the start. The hards, of course, feature a lot less grip to start, and the other thing, you have only one set of hards, so if you want to make them work in the best possible way, you must avoid an early pit stop, so John Bunter cannot have wing damage, and then his strategy would be ruined and the set of hearts would be wasted. So the grid has already formed up, everyone standing in each starting box, and the 5 red lights on Canada. We have a go. The race is started. Good start from, who was it? Nick Agnola maybe? We see the usual issues here with a confused standings. We see Chappie being ghosted. No, he's not ghosted anymore. Everything okay with Chappie. Alright, alright. Oh, but not alright with Royal Harvey. Royal Harvey had a lot of sliding at the end of turn 4 and therefore already in an early attack from Chappie here. But for the moment Royal Harvey was able to squash him off. But well, the start was not very good from Royal Harvey. It was Golden Pickle who pushed through from the early get-go and is already rather far ahead, I would like to say. In the background, not the biggest issues, a rather smooth start, a bit of plus or minus 1, so that is not that much. I actually do not see any big issues in the background. There is no one, one person into the pits. This is Casto France. There it is. Casto France. New nose, new tires. He will continue the race on mediums. He will pray for a safety car phase shortly, because then he could catch up to the field. Oh, Golden Pickle is in P3. And I think he is. What happened to Golden Pickle? He's ghosted. Oh no, Golden Pickle has connection issues. Oh no, that is really sad for him. Very, very sad. Such a good qualifying, a good start, jumping in the lead, and then you drop out of the lobby. That's really, really a pity for him. I hope that he can rejoin soon to grab his steering wheel. What's happening here? Battle for second. ChrisTam wants to get back his prime position he is used to be in. Pushes ahead of Chappie. No DRS yet. There's Golden Pickle again. He left when he was first and he returns when he is 11th. Oh. I can imagine how he will be feeling right here in the moment. So what's going on now? We have Royal Harvey in the lead, just ahead of ChrisTam, very close. DRS activated. From now onward, Royal Harvey, who has always had a little bit of a slide on some turns. Right now he looks rather safe and smooth, but he will be under attack very soon here from ChrisTam. ChrisTam will only wait for the long DRS zone that is coming up after the next hairpin turn. There it is, the rear view mirror of Royal Harvey. There are a bunch of drivers who will have DRS activated right here. The only one who cannot is right this guy, Royal Harvey. And let's see how many people can set him under pressure. ChrisTam, the first one. And wheel to wheel through the chicane. And there is MarcAinley now pushing on Tam. But Tam can defend it for the moment. Tam was squashed off from Harvey here in the last chicane and was cautious towards the wall of champions, therefore left in the grasp of MarcAinley, but Ainley himself couldn't take advantage. And this is the view of MarcAinley. Here's the next short DRS zone. Not good enough to attack, just good enough to catch up a little bit. And behind we see Nick Agnola pushing ahead of Chappie. I just said it's too short for overtake. Well, okay, Nick Agnola showed us that you can. And Chappie... Oh, just for the moment, let's focus on what's going on here. Royal Harvey, again, the only one who cannot activate DRS, will be under pressure from ChrisTam. This time this is filmed to us from the view of MarcAinley. Tam is through for the moment. And next DRS zone is in favor of ChrisTam again. So Royal Harvey cannot attack, or can he? Or can he? Oh, maybe a little bit of a push there from ChrisTam. Royal Harvey is still there, wheel to wheel in turn 2. Ooh, that was very close, and Harvey lost it. Royal Harvey just lost it on acceleration and has intense front wing damage. Let's have a look if we can get it depicted, but it's really hard from this view. We see him struggle here with the limited downforce on the front. He corner cuts here, therefore gets a penalty. Uh-oh, this does not look good for Royal Harvey. This is very sad. He had such a good race, But maybe he defended it just a little bit too hard against ChrisTam. What's going on here? Battle behind. That was Chappie and Bellox, I think. And Harvey just gets out of the way here. Let's Bellox and Chappie through. He is in need of a new front wing. Yeah, let's see how big the damage will be and if he will maybe even retire totally. We see now the next attack. Next battle, Chappie against Bellox, wheel to wheel into the last chicane, but they left each other some breathing space here. Harvey in the pits, Nick Agnola is 2. Nick Agnola will now continue on fresh mediums. Looks like a very early and unscheduled stop. Royal Harvey continues to stay with us. He has fresh hearts mounted. Oh, who's that? Who was that? Was it Chappie? It was Chappie. Chappie lost it on the acceleration. I mentioned it in the qualifying that this track is ruled as easy by Codemasters, but there are a few spots where you can very easily lose the car on acceleration, and then if you lose it, there is a wall very close and you will pick up a lot of damage. That is right what happened already a few times now in this very young race still. So let's have a look. Where is some racing action going on? We see maybe Marchetit here in P12. Closing up to Savkov in the DRS zone. Savkov did not have a good qualifying, but stayed out of a lot of troubles here early and therefore has earned himself P11 for the moment. But Marchetit might push for this P11 here very soon. New fastest lap by Golden Pickle, who is in 13th after he needed a early pit stop. Now it looks like Savkov pulled away again a little bit. Savkov should still be on the faster tires. 6 laps old softs is still okay on a track like Canada. Let's have a look who else we might need to watch for. This could be an interesting group here. We see P6 for Laurentiu in the DRS window of official, and he is likewise to Slayer, and Slayer is to Infamous. So even though they are a little bit far away of each other, this is more or less one big train. And we see Slayer coming into the pits and braking late, and therefore either Slayer or Infamous, someone will need a new nose. I think it's Slayer. Is it Slayer? Oh, Slayer had to wait because he shares a pit stop. Oh, Slayer needs a new nose. It was Slayer. Late braking and then ran into the car ahead of, I think, Infamous, and then damaged his nose with it. And he is in his totally black car now, ranked back to P15. Speaking about Infamous, he is now close here to Golden Pickle, and Nick Agnola likewise. So this is a new battle group here, maybe? Nick Agnola, Infamous, Golden Pickle, MarcAinley, Mosheted, all of them rather close. One DRS train. ChrisTam, our leader in the pits now, will continue his race on fresh medium, so he will stop again. All those who have stopped for hards, that is just one, it's just Royal Hobby, they might try to go through. Oh, have a look what's going on here. Traffic jam here on the pit exit. There is a big bubble of drivers here right now. Let's have a look what's going on here. Golden Pickle, Infamous, MarcAinley, Yellow in Sector 1, that's already behind us. So 3 guys ahead, 3 guys behind. This will be an interesting group to watch on the long back straight. Everyone will have the S except Savkov in front. And Mosheted already attacking. No, it's rather Golden Pickle attacking. Ooh, late lunge from MarcAinley. Late lunge. Mosheted left the door open and lost. Have a look. Mosheted must have a problem. Mosheted lost, I don't know, 4 or 5 positions in just 2 turns. And ahead, Golden Pickle with the attack against Savkov. And this works. Savkov into the pits. Golden Pickle continues. Golden Pickle, the leader of this little train here right now. Then MarcAinley, and behind Infamous, Nick Agnola, and Mosheted, who had some deep troubles but is still running. He's a bit out of the train now. He's too far away, out of the DRS window. So this group has shrunk to only, let's say, only 4 drivers battling it out. Battle for P6 to P9. So meanwhile, Laurentiu is our leader, just for the moment, of course. He still needs to stop. In second official. Oh, MarcAinley had a little bit of a braking problem there ahead, but still should be close enough to attack Golden Pickle, at least at the end then of the second DRS zone. If he gets through cleanly through the last chicane. Yes, he did. But he looks a bit far away. He seems a bit too far away. And behind, nothing new going on there either. Oh, yellow in sector 3. Someone has spun on the exit of the hairpin. That was Mosheted. Mosheted is ranked back heavily. Oh no, Mosheted is in the pits. Yellow already vanished, so everything back to green condition. Yellow in sector 3. No, safety car. We have a safety car. Royal Hobby is out. Royal Hobby is out. I don't see a colored dot standing in the wall anywhere. Anyway, whatever. The game has decided, race control has decided to bring out a safety car, and I suppose everyone who is close to the pit entry, yes, will pit now. Laurentiu, official. Aces versus Kings. Into the pits. ChrisTam goes through as he already had a stop. John Bunter in, Golden Pickle in, MarcAinley continues. Infamous is in after having only 3 laps old mediums. Dean Cunha goes through. Casto France in. Slayer goes through. Savkov will go through. He just had a pit stop. Chappie into the pits. Mosheted, the next one to decide. He goes through and just Belloc's left. He will not pit. He's on fresh hearts. And he will pit. Interesting. He did just the opposite what I expected. But okay. Let's have a look what the guys opted for tire-wise. Belloc's now fresh mediums, and ChrisTam is back into the lead. 3 laps old mediums, that's still rather okay. Likewise to MarcAinley. Nick Agnola, 6 laps old mediums. He will not have a real disadvantage on the restart, but he will be the first in need of a pit stop then sometime later. Laurentiu, fresh mediums, he is in a really good position now. Laurentiu coming from some places far behind. Let's have a quick look where he started his race. Laurentiu, grid position number 14. He's in a really good position now in 4th. He will try to run on this set of mediums long enough that he can have a short finish stint on softs, I suppose. Then we see Official crawling up half the field. He had a bad starting position too. He's now in 5th, and I would like to suppose that he will try to finish the race on this set of hards. Then we see Aces versus Kings, the only one who opted for soft, just a short middle stint, and then he'll need to stop again for probably mediums in 7, 8, maybe 10 laps. Dean Cunha, for him goes the same as I said, like Nick Agnola, not a big disadvantage, but he will be one of the first who need to stop again. And then a lot of fresh tires, fresh mediums, fresh hards for all those in the second half of our field. Like Infamous, the Golden Pickle on hards, they will try to go through. As to France, Machetet, all those will probably go through, or at least attempt that. As we have a moment, let's just have a second to look at the penalties. Safety car is already ruled in this lap. Penalty situation, a bunch of +3s, a bit more than I actually expected, to be honest. +3s, plus double +3, triple +3. So we need to watch this and see how evil it will be in the end then. And we get closer to the restart. Let's focus on ChrisTam. He is leading the field here in Sector 3. For some time he will pick up the pace. I think he already has. He seems like already in full throttle mode through last chicane. And we are back to green, back to racing. ChrisTam leads. No attack possible from MarcAinley behind him. And then Nick Agnola. Likewise, no one was able to attack in the front rows. We will probably see an attack very soon coming up from Aces versus Kings against Official because of the tire advantage for the Ace. Fresh softs against fresh hards. Oh, have a look! Oh, Official almost lost it. Maybe the tires were still a little bit cold there. And the Ace didn't wait very long. Snatched it right when he could. And will now try to run away and get more than a second of gap between him and Official. So that the reigning champion cannot attack him in the DRS zone very soon. And what's happening behind Official? We see Dean Cunha, who had some acceleration troubles. He is under pressure of John Bunter. No, Bunter just a little bit of a showing there. No attack. Woohoo! Cunha was close to the wall there at the infamous Wall of Champion. And Bunter, no, still no attack. Bunter just showing himself, just trying to put Cunha under pressure. Let's have a look what's happening from his view. In the lead, ChrisTam was not able to run away from MarcAinley, so they... There might be a DRS attack in the next lap upcoming from MarcAinley. here for the moment in this battle group. At least this will be a battle group very soon. As soon as it is next lap. No DRS yet, just by next lap. Behind, Slayer is not too far away either. Panther again showing himself in the rearview mirror of Cunha. Oh, have a look. Panther on the better acceleration and he pushes ahead. Question mark. Yes, he did. Ah, and I think Cunha has a bit of front wing damage. Yes, there is an end plate missing. That is a disadvantage for Cunha, and that probably was the reason why Panther could push ahead so easily. Dean Cunha is on 8 laps old mediums. I think he will try and think to stay out a little bit longer on this hurt nose so that he can make this set of tire and this strategy work a little bit more. And Panther on his better tire will attack official very soon. Behind, yeah. Panther could not shake off Dean Cunha, even though Cunha is on a limited front wing aerodynamic system. DRS opened up. Can he attack official? Not yet. Not yet. And behind, nothing new either. Maybe now, maybe now. Ooh, no. John Panther very eagerly showing himself in the rearview mirror of anyone. Did the same with Cunha before, and there might be an attack coming up soon. Mashatit is out. Mashatit retired. I think he did it in the pit lane. At least there is a blue colored dot standing in the pit lane right now. So I think he just decided to end his race. And Slayer attacking Cunha. Cunha does not have DRS. That's why it worked very easily for the Slayer, our vice champion, who is now part of the DRS train here behind official. Let's have a look if Panther attacks him now. It looks a little bit better. Yes, he does. He dares to. And he does it. He does it. Again, the S zone in his favor right now. Yes. And yeah, no counter attack from official. Let's have a moment, a look for a moment at some other fight. This is the fight for the podium. We see Nick Agnola within half a second of Laurencio. I mentioned it, Laurencio coming from the very far behind, having a really good race. He is in a vital battle for the podium. Let's see what the next DRS zone will bring up for us and for Nick Agnola. Acceleration, I think, goes a little bit in favor of Laurencio. Yeah, he's too far away. DRS should be opened. Yes, it is. But he is just too far away to attack. At the end of the next DRS zone, then maybe. Infamous overtaking champion for P10. Nope, no chance. Yeah, we are in a little bit of a wait here right now. The race takes a little bit of a breather, I would like to say. Let's have a look back at our battle group with the midfield. Pickle almost committed the big mistake to throw it away, but he survived it. Still running, and here's again official. Yeah, official battling with Slayer. We saw that in the last year a few times. Champion and vice champion. Official needed to take the exit of the last chicane here. Official, if he wants to go through on this set, he shouldn't battle too hard here. He shouldn't ruin his tires. If he wants to go through, he needs to nurse these tires. Yeah, we see him slide on acceleration every once in a while. Oh, almost the late attack from Slayer. Almost. This almost costed him some end plate on the front wing, and that brings in Golden Pickle into the discussion again. So we are already in the middle third of the race. We're getting closer to the final third of the race. We still have 15 drivers with us. Only 2 drivers had checked out. I think this is a display of quality we have in our L2S community. And some great racing action going on. We see now pit stop from Golden Pickle. Pickle is now in last position, but he will probably then finish the race on this set. He will opt for oh no! Huh? Oh, Royal Harvey! What's happening with Royal Harvey? Does he have? Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Royal Harvey was already DNF'd. He just was still with us as a spectator, and now he has left the session. We see a yellow in sector 2 already vanished. Just someone being next to the track somewhere. So still this train here, all the drivers being close to each other but not close enough to risk a maneuver, to risk an overtake. I'm sorry that I always have to depict the same guys in this race, but this is where the most action is going on, and we do not have replay options in live streams, so I need to stay where the most action is going on. And this is brought to us now from the view of Chappie, who films us the battle between reigning vice champion and the champion, Slayer and Official. And Slayer with troubles on acceleration, and therefore gives away his P7 to Chappie. Chappie now needs to hurry to get into the 1 second window of Official again. MarcAinley in the pits. He will finish his race on mediums. Yep, 13 laps to go. 13 laps should be possible on mediums. Oh, and Laurentiu has DNF'd. Laurentiu has given up the race, I think in the pits. Yes. Oh, that's very sad. That is very sad, because Laurentiu had a good race in the end. And I don't know why we need to find out about that then later in the group. He had some chances for a decent load of points, and he just threw it away. And good evening, Peter Woodland, who has just checked in the comments box, our grid manager. Nice to see you with us. Yeah, so what will we do? We head back to the midfield battle group. And this is again this group right ahead of us. Slayer, Chappie, Official, Aces versus Kings. And John Bunter, the leader of this terrain. So this is more or less the battle for the podium. This is the ongoing battle for the podium with different tire strategies and situations, of course, because we see John Bunter, Aces versus Kings. They definitely need to stop again. Likewise to Chappie and Slayer. Official maybe will try to go through on his sets of hearts. And so who is the next to attack anyone? Official looks aggressive against Ace. John Bunter might be out of the grasp right now. What's going on here? Wheel to wheel. And the Ace is the first one of this battle group to pit. 12 laps on softs. That's already some kind of achievement. And he probably will finish on softs again. No, he finishes on mediums. The last 11 laps he will run on mediums. Aces versus Kings. He is dropped back to 12th now. We will have to watch where the guys right here, the guys around him, will then come out of the pits after their next stop. But there is one problem for the Ace, and that is the fact that everyone else will then stop for softs. And he will have some disadvantage then in the late stages. When he finishes the race on mediums, everyone else around will go on softs. There was an attack from MarcAinley against Infamous. And Ainley even gets the DRS granted in his advantage, so no chance for a counter-attack from Infamous. We will need to have an eye on the pit stop, on the penalties, but for the moment, let's have a look. ChrisTam in the pits, our leader, already finished. Then we see Slayer in the pits. He needs a new nose again. Second new nose for Slayer. This costs massively time again. Nick Agnola was in the pits too. He is in P11 right now. Maybe he will snatch a few points, but not the best position for him, I would like to say. Aces versus Kings already back into the top 10. And John Bunter lost the position against Official. Official pushed through, and Chappie was close to do it likewise. Official is our leader. Have a look. Official, our leader. Now let's see if he will really try to go through on this set of hearts. Then he might even win the race. Official goes through. Bunter 2. Chappie in the pits. There is ChrisTam, the formerly leader. Yeah, he's very close. He's just 2.5 seconds behind Official. So with his faster tire, he should not have a problem to push ahead of Official and get back to the lead, back into the lead. But you never know, you never know. So for the moment, the strategy looks rather good for Official if he can make it last until the end of the race. Slayer dropped back to even P13 with his new nose. And have a look, ChrisTam pushed ahead easily, cruised by John Bunter. Bunter, who is in troubles on his rather old mediums there. Next attack, MarcAinley pushed ahead of Bunter. Didn't I say Bunter in some tire problems? I would like to suppose that Bunter will pit here. No, he does not. He goes through. Does he really intend to go through this race on this set of mediums? I can hardly believe so. So the pit stop strategy is not completed yet. I think we are in the last 7 plus this laps. And ChrisTam is close to official. He sits already in his gearbox. This is right what I said. Tire advantage in a heavy favor for ChrisTam. And he pushes ahead already right here. Doesn't even wait for the long DRS zone. Just cruises by. And this is the view of MarcAinley. MarcAinley will finish the race on this set, so he needs to push ahead of official very soon in case he wants to have a chance to attack ChrisTam, but I think this will rather be impossible for MarcAinley. Because ChrisTam will just sneak away in the front on his fresh softs. Yellow in sector 3. Oh, Ainley. Yes, he's ahead. Official left door open. And Bellox has retired. Bellox has retired in the pits. Now we have a safety car again. How can this be if you retire in the pits? Or did he? Didn't he? We see this green bubble standing there just ahead of the last chicane. Maybe Dean Cunha can bring it to us. No, sadly not. Car is already vanished. So where the green bubble was situated, I suppose that he might have just crashed it. So Savkov in the pits. I think he was the only one now who pitted. We have a similar situation to Tier 2 because a late safety car, and that heavily increases the effect of the given penalties. Pit stops. Who's it? MarcAinley. Official, yes. Official definitely needed to. If he was unsure to finish the race, he needs to pit here for fresh softs. Little bit of an unsafe release there. Pit stops. Ainley, official. John Banta. Infamous Castle France. Slayer in the pits. Slayer in the pits? Really? I think you... Did you already stop? I don't know why Slayer needed another pit stop, but okay. Nevertheless, this is now the final setup for the last few laps. We will see the safety car not in this lap, we will see the safety car in at the end of next lap. This is lap 31. So we will have 4 laps of green condition and 2 of those 4 with DRS. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the moment where we have a look at the penalty situation. Wow. Okay. I earlier said that Canada is a track where you have not that many possibilities of penalties, but yeah, I was a little bit wrong with that. Yeah, let's run it down. ChrisTam with 6 seconds, still one of the better boys. Nick Agnola, have a look, 21 seconds of penalties. He needs to watch out in order not to get disqualified. And as the field is so close right now, 21 seconds kick in massively. Nick Agnola, yeah, I suppose Nick Agnola will be last. Or at least drop a lot of positions. Maybe out of the points. Depends a little bit on the penalty seconds of the boys behind him, but he will drop a lot. And we see the aces versus kings with +9, MarcAinley +6, official +9, a bunch of double digits, Chappie, Banter, Infamous, Slayer, then only +3 for ChrisTam. This ChrisTam could be the man with the biggest advantage in the end of the penalty situation, because all the guys ahead have a lot, really a lot more penalty seconds, and ChrisTam will definitely jump over all these. He will jump ahead of Slayer, Infamous, Banter, Chappie, maybe even official. Same goes for Savkov. Maybe, yeah, not maybe, Savkov can have a good shot for decent points here in the end. Our group manager, Peter Woodland, just told me probably he had the calculator out that Nick Agnola finish in 6th. Yeah, that could be possible. For the moment, let's focus on the restart. Back to the last 4 laps of racing action, while ChrisTam is still in the lead, and the restart for him was rather, I think, no chance for an attack from Nick Agnola. And then behind, oh, wheel to wheel, Ace versus MarcAinley. Ainley had to go over the grass a little bit, now in the grasp of official, and Chappie likewise. Oh, a lot of action going on here in the end. Chappie maybe pushing official a little bit out there. Official now in the battle against John Banter. Better lane for official. He stayed ahead. Big train here in the lower parts of the rest of our field. Wheel to wheel, who has the better acceleration? I think official has. John Banter is close here. John Banter is close, and does he dare to attack? Oh no! He maybe even picked up some damage here on the wall. Something action going on here. Almost a little bit of havoc in the last few laps, when we see Banter pushing ahead of official, and Infamous does so too, and Slayer does likewise. Does he? Slayer pushing official a bit on the grass here. And have a look, official dropped from what he was, 3rd or 4th, back into 9th. Ooh, lot of action going on for the race lead. Everything is set and done. Uh-oh, Chappie with braking issues. Multiple cars going wheel to wheel in the hairpin. Now the attack from Slayer against Infamous. Wheel to wheel, but Infamous defending ahead. Chappie does not attack. Viking, Aces versus Kings here at the moment. What's going on here? I have no idea where to look first. I'm sorry if I miss out on some racing action, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. Chappie versus Banter and nothing yet. There we see some wheel to wheel again. Official might drop another position against ChrisTam. Not yet. And ahead, Banter wheel to Infamous. Banter attacking Infamous here in the DRS zone. We see DRS activated for the last 2 laps. Problem for Slayer here, but the guys behind did just the same. Official and ChrisTam, bit of attack here maybe. Official defending in the hairpin. Official lacking an end plate. This might be a big issue for him in the last lap. In front, nothing's happening, I would think here right now. Behind him, not either. So this might be the best view for the moment. We're sitting on the shoulder of official. A lot of action in the last lap. Very, yeah, as late as I can, I will jump to the leader. There's some wheel-to-wheel action. Attack from ChrisTam in the late stage in the last lap. ChrisTam, the next one to trying to push ahead of official. Jason Sargent, thanks for calculating things up. We have 189 seconds of penalties. That's really amazing. Over 3 minutes of penalty being handed out here in this race. And oh, what's happening there? Who was it? Was it Golden Pickle? I think it was Golden Pickle. Some last lap heroics, last lap desperations, and it's, yeah, did not work in his favor. And in the end, the checkered flag. First one to see it is ChrisTam. Congratulations, our Canada winner. From pole to victory, ChrisTam. Behind him, a lot of up and down. I just didn't even dare to see or to comment who is in which position. We will in just a moment see the final result. Driver of the day is ruled Savkov because he jumped up by multiple positions in the late stage due to penalties, and this is our podium. Congratulations to ChrisTam. Those three guys are celebrating the victory. Some champagne for these guys, and by the way, some champagne, yeah, maybe for me too, as this was my birthday broadcast here today. And so after an exciting race, an exciting late stage in the race, this is the final result after 192 seconds of penalties. ChrisTam has won the race ahead of MarcAinley and ChrisTam. Then in fourth, have a look, Savkov from 16 to 4th. Fifth goes to Aces versus Kings. 6, Chappie. 7, then in the end official. 8, Slayer. 9, Nick Agnola. Nick Agnola dropped from 2nd to 9. Wow. 10th, Infamous. 11, John Bunter. 12, Golden Pickle. 13, Dean Cunha. 14, Bellox, who did not finish, by the way. The rest did, so likewise Laurentiu, Moshetit, Royal Harvey, all these guys in the end did not finish. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining. Thanks. I hope that you had just as much fun as I did in a very exciting race here in Canada with a lot more penalty seconds than expected. And yeah, it was a pleasure for me to bring it to you in your living room. And yeah, it was a special birthday for me to spend it with you. But yeah, it is fun for me, and I always like to do it, even on this day. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did, and it would be a pleasure for me to welcome you again next week on Thursday evening. Thursday 7 p.m. the Tier 2 starts, and on 9 p.m. we start with Tier 1. The stream goes online always 5 or 10 minutes earlier over my channel, and then we will head to one of the short tracks, again a short track. Then we will head to Spielberg, Austria. Thanks for the moment, glad you were with us, and yeah, until we meet again on next Thursday, stay safe in these times, have a good one, and keep racing.